And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They'll drop to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Hey, Sam off. Slam.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Right back to him on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains.
Leo.
On 2nd down, it's Hawkins. And he's got this down to the 35. 16 yards on that one at a Raven 1st.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now this throw caught left side. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Rock it. Bam.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Yo. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here we go.
The ball resting on their own 5 here as they come up to the line on 2nd and long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, and he fires one incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Set. 60 outlaw. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Look at me. Zipper. Get it.
Now a give right side. It's Hawkins. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And this one will be brought back to the 22. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. At the 22-yard line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second and 11. Sliding up, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It was Breland Speaks getting home to the quarterback that time.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. He'll drop to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Hey, Alpha.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Roll out. Let's go.
Jones. Flush to his right. That is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Throwing again. Jones. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going deep for Brown. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Keep it up, guys. Go.
2nd and 6. Ball going deep here for Taylor. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. Go for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
That's it. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Hey, check. Check safety. Check. Look. Check. Bang.
Back to throw here. Ball going deep here for Taylor. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. This one caught by Davis. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now a give, right side. It's Hawkins, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Here we go. 6 yards. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Watch the safety.
Now a handoff looking right. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll set up a throw. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Ready? Let's get it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Jones on 3rd down. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down.
Ready. 90 Wolf. Mike 54. Me and you all day.
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Taywan Taylor, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
On 2nd and 7. Jones looking deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. It's hauled in by Doxson. And out across midfield down to the 45. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Down.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Pull it together. Check 30.
Now a give right side. It's Hawkins. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Slam, slam, slam. Ready?
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. 20, 10, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they... Go. Check 52. Check 7. Check 7. Over.
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He's going to field this at the 4. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Jones now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
He's coming. Hey, lock it. I'm going to run you over. Whip. Charlie! Smooth! Check! Get it!
Now Jones, operating from the gun. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 50. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Go.
On second down now. It's Hawkins. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Charlie. Tight down. Hey. Mike 54.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Delta. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Go. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Ain't no such thing as a snap.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's going deep for Brown. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
Back to throw. Jones. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This quarterback now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. 2nd and 4. This is caught. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this week. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll set up to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jones now throwing to start the drive. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They're going to look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and under pressure again, and down he goes again. Montez Sweat racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Baltimore, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.